My story of surviving domestic abuse while pregnant. Hi everyone, my name is Sarah and today I'm here to share my story in hopes that it might help someone who may be going through a similar situation. A few months ago, I found myself pregnant with my second child while also facing divorce and threats from my husband. It was one of the darkest periods of my life, but through the support of loved ones, I was able to pull through. I'm sharing my experience to raise awareness about domestic abuse during pregnancy and let other mothers know that there is hope, even when it seems impossible. To give some background, I was married to my now ex-husband Mark for 5 years. We have a 3-year-old son together and I had just found out I was pregnant with our second child. On the surface, our marriage seemed happy and successful. Mark owned a thriving real estate brokerage that I had helped build from the ground up. However, over the past year, things started to change. Mark became more controlling and emotionally abusive. He started staying out late without explanation and checking up on me constantly. The threats and hostility escalated to a point where I knew I had to leave for my own safety. I moved in with my mom while trying to wrap my head around everything that was happening. My main concern was protecting my unborn baby through a very stressful time. When Mark came to visit our son, he pretended like he wanted to reconcile, but it became clear he just wanted to save face in front of others. The next day, he sent me horrifying texts threatening the life of my next husband. It was then I realized the depth of danger I was truly in. Around this same time, I went for my routine ultrasound only to discover my little one wasn't growing and developing on track. Naturally, this raised some red flags for my doctor. The unknown of the pregnancy complications mixed with Mark's escalating threats made an already difficult time feel almost unbearable. All I wanted was to keep my baby safe, but I was unsure how much more stress my body could handle. I tried reaching out to Mark to have an honest conversation about our options. However, he made it clear through his hostile texts that he wanted me gone and was not willing to make any decisions based on the health of our unborn child. Divorce papers and threats of taking full custody of our son followed swiftly. It seemed my choice was to either terminate the pregnancy against my will or lose my family entirely. Amidst it all, Mark suddenly started demanding I sign a postnuptial agreement relinquishing my rights to his business, which I had helped build from the ground up. He claimed because California is a community property state, he was entitled to keep everything even in divorce since we hadn't been married 5 years yet. To me, it was obvious this was just another control tactic rather than having legitimate legal grounds. The timing of only bringing it up during arguments made his true intentions clear. He wanted to strip me of my livelihood and independence to leave me with nothing. It was through talking with advocates and counselors that I came to understand the extent of emotional abuse I had endured. Mark had slowly isolated me from friends and family over time. He gaslit me into doubting my own reality and memories. Constant threats and invalidation wore away at my self-esteem to the point I didn't believe I could survive without him. Through legal services, they educated me on how pregnancy is actually a high-risk time for domestic violence to escalate due to the abuser losing control over their victim's body. I came to realize I was in grave danger and needed an escape plan. Thankfully, I had an amazing support system rally around me during this dark time. My mom let me stay with her indefinitely and encouraged me to pursue the divorce. Close friends helped look after my son so I could focus on doctor's appointments. A local women's shelter connected me with counseling and legal advocacy. They assisted with filing a restraining order against Mark for our protection. With their compassion and resources, I started to regain my strength and independence back piece by piece. I no longer had to face uncertainty alone. The divorce itself was unpleasant but ultimately successful due to my legal team. They ensured I received fair custody of our son as well as a portion of the marital assets, including shares in Mark's business since I had contributed to its success. Mark pushed back aggressively at every step, but the judge ruled in my favor each time based on the evidence. Serving him the papers brought up mixed emotions but also a sense of finality and relief that this chapter was closing. I could start healing and moving forward safely for my children. Thankfully, once out of that toxic environment, my health rapidly improved. My little one started catching up on growth and hit all their markers. Modern technology and caring doctors monitored us closely. I'm proud to say I recently welcomed a happy and healthy baby girl into this world. Holding her for the first time made all the struggle feel worth it. I'm so grateful every day for the second chance she has given me at motherhood. My kids keep me going and remind me of my own strength. If you're experiencing domestic violence during pregnancy, please know that you are not alone and there are people who want to help. Reach out to a local women's shelter immediately. They can connect you with legal advocates, counseling resources, and emergency safe housing options. Document any threats, harassment, or abuse. Prioritize your prenatal care. Your health and baby's health depend on limiting stress as much as possible. And most importantly, believe in your inner strength. You are so capable of getting through this and building a safe, happy life for your child. There is always hope for the future, even in the darkest of times. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it empowers anyone facing similar abuse to find the courage to seek help. No one deserves to feel unsafe, especially while growing new life. You are worth so much more.